So MetaQuotes is pulling the MetaTrader platform from a lot of unregulated brokers out there. And if you're somebody in the US or another country where your brokerage options are very limited, then this video will hopefully get you to join the dark side or the light side, I'm not sure, but take it from unregulated to go regulated. And stick with me, I'll tell you all about this. But again, a lot of traders who love MT4 are losing the ability to trade MT4 or trade on MT4 because unregulated brokerages, many of them, are getting pulled off of MetaQuotes' platform. They're discontinuing, I guess, their ability for those brokerages to host on MT4, to allow their traders on MT4. And this is causing a big stir in the trading community because a lot of retail Forex traders love trading on MT4. And so if MT4 is getting pulled, what's going to be the next option for people who are in certain countries where regulation really restricts the number of things you can trade on? Well, long story short, don't call me a bad guy just yet, but I believe the only answer is it's time to get regulated. It's time to go with the safe brokerages. And I'm going to talk about this at length because this is something that I've been personally impacted on, and I will talk openly about it. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we have there in the US, some of the big names are KOT4X. I've never used this one. And then you have Hugo's Way, and then you have Hanko Trade, and then you have there used to be Trader's Way, but there's you get the point. There's like Eagle FX. There's several brokers that are unregulated brokerages that accept US clients when they're really not supposed to be able to do that. They just do not, basically operate their business in a regulatory body that will stop them from doing it. So US clients love to go trade with these sorts of platforms. And let me just say right off the bat, I'm not here to say, oh, all of these brokers are terrible. In fact, from personal experience, I've been trading with Hugo's Way for several years. Now, let me back up. Before you say, oh, yeah, so I just need to trade. I put a very, very small amount of my trading capital in Hugo's Way, and I did it for a different reason than perhaps most traders would. I did it so that I could track it on myfxbook.com just to show some transparency in the industry. However, Hugo's Way, Hanko Trade, Cot4X, I think a lot of these brokerages, they're losing their licenses to MetaQuotes. They're not able to host on MetaTrader 4. And so they're bringing out these new platforms like TickTrader and things like that. And traders are just not about it. People are not very interested, it seems, in the new platforms. People like MetaTrader, which is totally fine. MetaTrader is a wonderful platform, to be completely honest. It is simple. It's wonderful. However, I think it is time to abandon. If you're in the US, I think it's time to jump ship. This is what I've been personally doing. I am no longer, not that I had very much capital of my own in Hugo's Way. I trade almost exclusively regulated brokerages. 99.9% of my crypto and my trading accounts is in regulated US brokerages. Now, I can already hear, well, there's so many regulation restrictions and things like that. Yes, but guess what? Here's something that you need to think about. If you're going to be trading with an unregulated broker, every single day that you are trading on their platform, you are risking 100% of your trading capital. What do I mean by that? At any point, any of these brokerages, and these are not the only ones, there are many, many unregulated brokerages, and you should certainly, if you have money in a platform, if you don't know if they're regulated or unregulated, stop right now and go take a look because it's really important. You are risking the potential to lose 100% of your capital if you're trading on an unregulated brokerage. Why? Because there's no oversight that protects you in the situation that the business goes under. And I have to say, with everybody losing their MT4 licenses, this is somewhat of a crisis because guess what happens to these businesses? If everyone trades on them because they can use MetaTrader and then suddenly MetaTrader is no longer available, guess what? Some of these brokerages just might close up shop. And I'm saying this early because this has not happened, and I'm not saying, oh, Hanko Trade's going to close down or Hugo's is going to shut down. I don't know, right? I have no knowledge of whether that's going to happen or not. But as a business owner myself, I can tell you that if you had a dramatic stop in revenue, in brokerage signups, because the platform everybody likes is no longer available, if everybody is mass exiting these brokerages, suddenly there's going to be an increased probability, not certainty, that these things will close down entirely. And guess what that means? They're not obligated to give you your money back because you're not in a regulated brokerage. The number one perk, hands down, point blank period, with trading like with something regulated, which, by the way, I do have some referral links down below in the description that I'll prepare for you if you do want to take a look at the ones that I trade on as a U.S. client. I trade on a stock brokerage that is regulated in the U.S. My money is protected by U.S. regulation, and that is very, very important to me. I'm not out here trying to risk 100% of my money invested because the broker runs away and stops answering your emails and messages. Absolutely not, right? I need a brokerage where I'm going to be parking my money for the long term, where I can build an account. I'm not messing around with this stuff, right? This is my livelihood. I'm not here risking 100%. And technically, you could say, well, there's risk with everything. Sure. But government regulation in the U.S. provides some security there that you will get reimbursed in the situation that a government or a company goes bankrupt. In fact, there's a whole long line of defense when it comes to regulated entities. If one goes down, another brokerage might just buy out all the accounts that are existing there and honor your positions, et cetera, right? Regulated 101, 100%, no question. You've got to be trading on a regulated broker. That's my opinion. I know it's harsh. I know, some people are like, but then I can't trade leverage and I can't do 500 to 1 leverage and I can't, trade CFDs. And yes, but I have a video that I put out yesterday on how you can trade gold in the US. Feel free to check that out. I'll even try and put that as a card on this video. There are workarounds. There are ways to trade gold and indices and currencies all on regulated platforms here in the US. And again, I have all of those linked down below in the descriptions, the ones that I use and recommend to people who are thinking about it. And I can confidently do that. I can't confidently recommend these things because you know what? I don't know if there's that 100% risk looming around the corner. And the last thing I would suggest is that you go invest your money in something that has no protection over your money. Absolutely not. So what is it about regulated brokerages that is so much better, Nick? If you're so much of a fan of regulated brokerages, why is that? Well, the clear one is, of course, your money is safe. And that is hands down the most important. The other thing is that there's a third party that makes sure there's no funny business going on. With unregulated brokerages, it's pretty common knowledge in the trading world now that people can fake MT4 platforms, that they can do all sorts of nonsense to manipulate your screen. Well, guess what you can also do? If you're the brokerage and you have sketchy big business practices, again, not that I am blaming any of these companies that I mentioned previously, I have no idea. But the point is, we have no idea as a community if they're doing funny business under the table. Are they widening your spreads? Are they doing something that's sketchy? There's no oversight. Third-party validation, auditing, looking into, we have those things in the U.S. that help us to make sure that a company is not totally screwing us. Now, of course, there are mistakes, there are oversights, there are things that the SEC, for example, totally misses. But at least you have something that's looking over. When you're working with an unregulated broker, there's absolutely no third-party audit to what's going on with your trading account, and I'm not a fan of that, right? That's such a sketchy thing. Also, you might say, well, Nick, the unregulated, they have like deposit bonuses and all that sort of stuff. The thing is, deposit bonuses by itself is not wrong or anything like that, but you do have to kind of look into the fine print because most of the time that they offer some sort of like matching or bonus or, sign up thing, there are terms and conditions that apply, right? You have to trade and you have to make some, ungodly amount of money in order to access your deposit bonus or something like that. Not all of them. Like I said, I'm just using a blanket statement. Just be careful. Deposit bonuses are often a little bit more to them what they appear, right? They're a little bit more difficult than you think. So my point is, if I'm going to be trading on a unregulated brokerage, if I'm going to be parking a large amount of money or any amount of money that I don't want to lose out entirely, I've got to stay regulated. Again, I think that there's a tide coming for some of these brokers that are losing their MT4 stuff. If that truly does become the thing and nobody wants to use the new platforms and everybody is leaving the brokerages, it is very possible that the people who don't leave in time could experience something horrible where the brokerage packs up shop, calls it a day, and does not give out people's money, right? So again, by the way, another thing that's a total red flag about unregulated brokerages is there are plenty of people and plenty of experiences and testimonials out there of people not being able to withdraw their money, right? People basically saying, the brokerage is refusing to pay out my money, or they're with regulated brokerages. Absolutely not. Again, there's a third party, there's regulatory oversight. If they can't pay you out, it's because they just need some sort of government document to comply with the compliance that they have. I have been in this industry. I have worked with very, very, high-rated, regulated U.S. brokerages. I've been sponsored by several of them. I don't want to name them, but it's all the big ones, right? The biggest crypto ones, the biggest FX ones, the biggest stock ones. I've been honored to feature them and to partner up with them in many times in my channel's history. I can tell you from all of the meetings and calls and conversations, compliance, regulation, that is their number one priority. They're not screwing around with your account. They're not trying to whip you out of your stop loss. Regulated brokerages do not have time for that. They have entire departments dedicated to making sure that they are treating their customers right, because if they don't, they get shut down by governments. I love that. I want the government's protection in that regard. Do I say everything government is perfect? Absolutely not. But again, I'm not out here risking 100% of my account because I have a oversight that is protecting my trading account. I'm not here trying to worry about whether or not my broker is going to pay me out. Trading is hard enough. I do not need to be doing that, right? I need a broker that is reliable. Sure. Are there less leverage options? Are there less tradable assets? Are there, even not as attractive spreads and commissions? Possibly. But at least I pay that premium for that protection. Whereas if I use an unregulated brokerage, I have no protection and I can lose absolutely every penny in the brokerage. So I hope that my hard opinion on this may have opened up your mind to some of the things to consider. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on around this, but again, if you are somebody who is open to it, I have links in the description. By the way, the regulated brokerage that I use to trade, you can actually place trades on what's better than MetaTrader. Well, this is totally subjective, but I think many people would agree. There's a new big dog on the block, and it's TradingView. Now, they're not new. They've been around for a while. But TradingView allows you to now connect to the brokerage that I have down below in the description, Webull. It's a U.S. regulated brokerage for U.S. clients. It's what I use to trade gold and indices and stocks and options. I can trade it all through TradingView now, which is fantastic. I love the TradingView platform even more than I do the MetaTrader one. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Again, check out the link in the description if you want to support my channel and sign up with Webull. It is, again, my preferred brokerage. And if you're looking for FX in the US, Oanda is down there as well. Both of those are big time names in the industry that I have communications with and highly, highly recommend to people who are considering it. So check it out. Link is down below in the description, and have a great day.